When should I repair versus replace a major building system like an HVAC unit or a roof? There's a lot of variables here. I know for appliances, a lot of people think, hey, if it's older than 7 years, let's go ahead and replace it. Sometimes you have repairs sooner than that are way more costly. And so a lot of it just depends on the situation and the cost at the time, but you also need to take age into that consideration, what the cost of replacement is going to be, and you got to do some math. Another thing to consider is it may make sense to, based on your current financial position, to do something that may not make sense overall. So if you're low on capital and you really need a new roof, you might repair it for now, knowing that it's going to continue to cost you money, but it might give you an opportunity to build up on reserves and replace that roof. So that may be something to consider. But in most cases, what you're looking at is age versus replacement cost versus repair cost, and you do the math and see how it stacks up. You also want to look at what is this going to cost if you don't replace it now. So if your HVAC continues to fail and you're spending $100, $200 a month on this thing on repairs, when does it make sense just to go ahead and call it and replace it? Same with the roof. That's more frequent, more common with the roof. So you're patching roof leaks all over the place. When does it make sense to go ahead and just replace the roof? I think, again, a lot of it comes down to your cash position, the age of the roof, but that's why we encourage to use some of your cash flow that you get from the rental and put it towards CapEx, which is capital expenditures, larger projects within the property like HVAC, roof, etc., so that you're ready when that replacement time comes. So it's fairly easy to understand the typical lifespan of the product, a typical lifespan of a roof, the typical lifespan of an HVAC unit. It's fairly easy to understand that. It's fairly easy to tell how old it is as well. And so once you understand those two, it's also easy to get the repair cost and get the replacement cost. Do the math, but keep in mind, what is the cost going to be if you don't replace it? Continued maintenance, and then what is the unseen cost going to be with the frustration between you and the resident and what they're dealing with while they're waiting for you to come up with enough money to replace this thing. So you want to do the math first and foremost and kind of think of it from what makes more sense financially. But there is a small fraction of that where it's like, what is the most logical and the least intrusive for the resident to just go ahead and knock this out and do this the right way? You also could consider, do you have a turnover coming up? So yeah, maybe the HVAC needs to be replaced, which could be done pretty quickly. Same with a roof, but a roof replacement could be pretty intrusive, especially if there's small kids in the house and things like that. Maybe if your turnover is a month or two out, you look at that as well. When is that going to happen? Is that tenant moving out or not moving out? How can you pair that with a renewal offer with an increase in rent? Hey, we're going to put a brand new HVAC system in here. We're going to put a brand new roof. We're going to replace the windows. We're going to increase the rent X amount because we're investing into this property so that you could have a better experience. So keep all of these things in mind with the asset value, the timing, the replacement cost, repair cost, and what it's going to cost if you don't do those things. There's a lot of things that can come into play when you're making these big repairs to make sense of when to do it. So hopefully that helps.